Hi guys, 2 weeks ago I got myself a brand new Yaesu FT5D. I'm a bit late to catch up, they've been out for a while. Before buying this, I tried to get a new Yaesu FT3D for the third time. It fell through. The eBay ad was really a bit of bait and switch. Having had this for 2 weeks, I'm still not sure if I was making the right decision looking for a 3D instead of this one. But an APRS radio like this is what I've been waiting for to finish off my project video series about my APRS device. This video should be a bit of a mashup of different footage about different things. I think that's how they're making videos these days. To get straight into it, one of the things that deterred me from buying this initially was a crack that seems to occur quite often, or too often for a $500 US radio, across the plastic case behind the push-to-talk switch. My understanding so far is it's caused by a potential defect in the radio plastics itself that causes the well that the battery sits in to be too narrow, and then it's pushed apart by these two bumps that are usually on the battery. I've shaved mine off with a sharp knife to prevent the battery pushing the radio apart. Certainly they haven't all had this problem. Maybe there was a bad batch. I don't necessarily think my radio had this potential problem, but I took the precaution anyway. While we're at the back of the radio, yes, you can Mars mod it. You can put a big blob of leaded solder over the resistor and then lift the resistor off with the solder using wick. As usual, it relaxes the band edges that the radio will transmit on, but doesn't allow anything useful. The fact that the FT5D has rubber corner protectors turned me off as well, being another thing that can come off and has.
It's obviously different from the 3 to the 5. I'm assuming there's a reason for it, but you've already covered that we can go to the AC.
Yeah, interference and birdies created by the communication to the screen.
Because it does. I know some people believe that it doesn't.
Yeah, because we're all technologically inept idiots. Engineers would discard that feature of live updating the frequency on the display while scanning to save battery power is absurd. It's an insult to our intelligence. FT3D did update the display as it was scanning, and it couldn't scan an amateur band in analog because of the birdies produced by the radio, and in particular while scanning, the communication between the radio's microcontroller and its own display would cause the interference. It would blink the decimal point and you could actually hear it. I'm at Spicer's Gap campground. I've got the whole campground to myself. It's not a Pac-12 day, so I'm not doing HF, even though I do mean to demonstrate the Pac-12 with a bunch of counterpoise wire. These are just here to be UHF, VHF radios. And I can hit an APRS digipeater from here, so it's a cool time to demonstrate the functionality of my APRS project, which is kind of unique. You know, I was watching a YouTube video that said a sign of emotional maturity is giving up on the idea of perfection in every area of life. I'm glad they made a video like that, because giving up on the idea of perfection doesn't come naturally to me. When something like this comes out, a whole slew of videos come out comparing a bed, this and that to the other. There's nothing about this case that I like better than the FT3D. Okay, now in a bit of an open area, I'm going to send a pre-prepared message that just says nearest with a question mark. And I'm going to hope for a response. Yeah, I got a response on the signal meter from a digipeater. Now, had I been quick enough, I would have actually caught APRS PHY updating, but there's the acknowledge to the message that I sent saying nearest, and I've also done this previously to this video just to test, and it'll use its well, the storage capacity of 350 odd stations that it's received and their location, and it'll cycle through all them and figure out which one's the nearest to me, so long as I've beaconed recently, which I have from here. And it's saying the nearest station that has been received to me He's actually called VK4JY2, and he's at a bearing of 309 degrees and 4.1 k's away. So there's VK4JY2 and me. Now that might have been rough in terms of videography, but it was real, and other than if I'd done this from home, I would have had to have masked my location and figured out a way to make a demo work. But from here, I can use everything that's genuine and my real GPS coordinates, and then show you on YouTube where I was later on. One of the landmarks for this site is what they call Pioneer Graves. I think this is more like a monument to the graves, which are somewhere else perhaps, maybe even unmarked. So yeah, I'm not sure that anyone's actually buried here.